Well, hello there. Welcome to today's episode of The Big Question. I'm your host, Simon Irungu. And kama kawaida, I'm always joined in by the man himself, Professor Herman Manyora. How are you doing, sir?
This guy is doing well.
You're doing well? I'm also doing well.
Thank you.
Now, a conversation that has been there the whole of this week is the conversation of millionaires and billionaires, Prof. As for me, I'm worth this phone and perhaps the clothes that I put on.
And you are better than many Kenyans.
That's true.
Millions.
Yeah.
How
much are you worth yourself? Come on, just spill it. Just a little bit.
I have nothing.
What do you mean you have nothing?
It's just me and my small salary. And
do you have something major?
If I tell people I don't own anything, they will not believe it. So let's leave
actually don't believe that myself.
Yeah. I don't own anything. What do I own? A small car?
Okay, now let's get to this conversation. Now, there is a conversation coming from this story of millionaires and billionaires, CSs who have been nominated for these offices, Prof. Now, the question that people are arising is that these people want to retain into power or want to get into power in order to retain or to safeguard what they already have, Prof. Now, how true is this conversation, Prof?
You know, we run systems where those with money get power to get more money to protect what they have. Those without power, without money, can get power so that with the power they can get more money.
Okay.
So the separation between power and politics and leadership, there's one and the same thing. They're in the same mix, the same bag.
And is it true that they want to be in power in order to safeguard what they have?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Some people get to power so that they can safeguard what they have. Others get into power to get more or to get something.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay, now how dangerous then is this now that people are just there to get more of what they have or to safeguard what they
There's
have?
nothing wrong with people being rich. In fact, people should be rich. It's more a question of, will you use your position of leadership, your position in government, your position in public service to your advantage? That's where the problem is. If you are a businessman and you become a minister, are you going to use your position as a minister to get undue advantage when it comes to government business? That should be the problem.
Okay.
But the bigger problem, which the vetting committee is not addressing, is how did you get your property? You can come and tell us you have 4 billion. You can come and tell us you have 800 million. But how did you get it? You can be Murukomen and say you are worth 550 and everybody is surprised. Maybe I am one of the people who is wondering, how could Murukomen be worth 550 million? Perhaps he can show how he got it. And so when you look at Wetangula and his team, this country has a problem. It's a question of how did you get the 550? Okay. I have parcels of land. How do you get them?
But they're explaining how they
No, they are not. They are just saying what they have. They are not explaining how they got the parcels of land.
Some are saying they have businesses,
And if you are what you are saying, someone else saying, my income from legal fee, from rentals, how much tax do you pay?
Okay.
Those parliamentary committees are supposed to be backed by serious research teams. When you see some committee work on something of public interest going on in the US Senate, you can see the teams behind those guys. When a senator is speaking, there are guys behind there. And behind those guys is a team. Behind that team, there's a complete research. So when you come and say, I make my money from farming, okay. If you make money from farming and from your law firm, let's look at your tax returns.
Okay.
Does that bear you out? A man who makes 50 million a year, how much have you been paying taxes? Simple things like that. And then somebody go home. You can't be a minister. You tell us you make 200 million per year, 50 million per year, 20 million per year. And the only tax you have ever paid is the pay as you earn from your salary. Please, can you stand up, take your things and go home? You can't be a minister. That is what vetting is supposed to be. It's a big disappointment. They are a big disappointment.
Your perspective on vetting and what is actually happening.
There's no vetting going on. It's just like hiyo ni mchezo tu. Na mimi naambia wa Kenya, you must allow me to own these people. They are courting disaster. It will come one day, it will hit them. They will say, wow. When I was chairing that vetting committee as a speaker, wow. Is it possible I could have done something? Yes, and I didn't do it, oh God. And you are a refugee in some country.
Okay, let me ask you this. What danger then does it impose?
You are destroying your country.
Failing.
You are simply destroying your country.
How, Prof?
Because two things. Number one, the people will get annoyed at these things. And when people get annoyed, you know the sort of things they do. They spill into the streets. And everything you have made, it all goes down. Everything. Those who stay in the current, they will not stay there. Those who, when things go bad, everybody loses. So when you have now lost and you are a refugee in some country, you wonder, what was I doing as Speaker of the National Assembly?
Okay.
The second problem is, even if you don't go that direction, and I fear we are headed there, there's a question of leadership and its role in steering a country into prosperity. Even just for a country to keep on course, to move, to remain a country, for normalcy to be there, you need leadership. Okay. That the place of leadership cannot be gainsaid. Leadership is so essential to a country, to an organization, a company, an institution. Without leadership, nothing can move. And therefore, countries which have succeeded place great premium on leadership. That's why when a leader, a national leader, is suspected of some small scandal, it doesn't take an hour before they leave. A small, tiny scandal. Just a small speck. Caesar's wife must be beyond. So when we have people parading millions, hundreds of millions, and the Kenyans are watching, and they are not convinced these people could make the billions they are talking about, the millions they are talking about, because people know them. Obama said it when he was in town. Here, he said, don't think Kenyans are fools. When they see you driving these big vehicles, they know you have stolen their money. They know you squandered public funds. They know. People, they are just, you see, they are just, it's called social equilibrium. That stability is maintained because of several forces. But once it can give way, and anarchy takes place, and we all lose. It is so simple. Do not keep pushing people. You are pushing people into telling them you are stupid, you are stupid. We can do anything, we can show you anything. Because when you get small boys today, and 3-4 years down they are saying they are worth 800 million, you think Kenyans are taking it lightly? It is in the interest of those people. Let's say Moses Kuria, who is my friend, he says he's worth maybe 750. It is even in his own interest for the committee to push him into showing actually he has made the 750 million. In his own interest and in the interest of the entire society, for the stability of the country. Okay. You think you are being nice because he's from Kenya Kwanza? No! It is in his own interest to prove that he actually earned the 750 million. And for the country to go to rest easy knowing, yes, Moses Kuria is what, 750, he made this money well. But that anger that you are building in Kenyans, that how can so-and-so have 300 million? That is what I'm inviting members of parliament, beginning with Moses Wetangula, to take time off what they are doing. A few minutes or hours to look at countries that have gone down. What brought them down? They must interrogate. They must look at those things that have brought some countries down, both economically and politically. It is normal for people to think when a country collapses, like Sri Lanka has collapsed recently, and in terms of the economy and the politics, and Argentina before it and others, and the countries around us that politically collapsed, and they are trying to build the pieces 20, 30, 40 years later. It is common for people to believe it is very big things that brought those countries down. No! In fact, if you are told to search why a country went down, you can't see the big things. It is small things like that. But top on the list is to irritate the public.
Okay, now, Prof,
yes.
let's divert the conversation a little bit and talk about Moses Musalia Mudavadi, Prof.
Yes.
Clearly, he's a billionaire with the estimate net worth of 4-point-something billion.
Which is good.
And he's served the terms that he has served, the positions that he's held. Then why is it that he doesn't want to let go of power? He still wants
what's
a
wrong with
position in
Musalia
government.
Mudavadi wanting power?
There is a conversation. People
power
say...
is not about money. You mean because you have made money, you don't want power?
Then
some people are saying, nikiwa na 4 billion, siwezi kutafuta. What? That is
why
foolish.
do people cling so
No,
much into power?
Mudavadi is right and justified to look for power.
The position that he served
No, he has never become president. He wants to be president. He wants something. A man is always ambitious. There's nothing wrong with Mudavadi wanting more power. It's perfect. In fact, I want him to want it badly so that I can say my neighbor is the president. Bragging rights, it's called. What's wrong with Mudavadi wanting power? That's village thinking.
Let's look like the outgoing governors.
People are saying achukue bilioni moja atoe waluke abaki na tatu wanatafuta nini ya siasa. No, that's not how it works.
Let's talk to some people like the governors who are not re-elected, governors who maybe served their second term and they cannot run for another term. Why don't people just retire and go home?
No, you see, those who don't want power, sometimes they don't understand why people want power so badly. But you have to understand we are not the same. Even in school, you saw how people were campaigning to be prefects. Even if you are in the village, somebody will be a chairman of a school, or just a committee member, or a chairman of a cattle dip, or a cooperative. You can see it's like he wants to die to become. My best example is that University of Nairobi, a friend of mine wanted to be dean. I said, dean. You know, someone like me, I don't even understand why people will campaign to be president of a poor third world country like this. See, and none of them is campaigning to make this country better. So that thing, people have it. Some people call it ambition. Others, ujuaji. You know, there are all manner of names you can give it. But there will always be people in society who always want power. Even the most useless forms of power. People are dying. People are bribing to get it. So you can't blame them. That's them. It's in their nature.
Okay.
But then there are also those, and those are few, who have the fire in the belly to change things. A person wants to change society, make it better. So until such a person, like people like Raila, until they achieve that, they will always continue going at it because their quest for power is informed by their desire to change society.
Okay, let's wrap up the conversation at that. That's a conversation on millionaires and billionaires, CSs who have been nominated for these positions. Well, till you have the next conversation, the next big question, enjoy the rest of your day.